I was following some of these girls. And that's how I found out that this person tried to basically, I don't know what word, stealing, copying. That's how I found out.
Welcome to Life Unleashed,
The podcast all about creating the best life for you and your furry best friend.
If you're a dog mom on the go, juggling life, work, and the endless joys of being a dog parent, then you're in the right place. I'm Dani.
And I'm Nick.
And together with the incredible dog mom community from Tails Up Pup, we're here to share advice, stories, and the obsession we have over the love for our dogs.
Get ready to laugh, learn, and lean on each other because life with your dog just got even more awesome.
I would just like to start off by saying, if you're watching this, there's a new plant behind me, and Nick just cut a tag off of it. For the first time in 6.5 years, this plant stand has been in our house, and it has had the tag on it. So just wondering if anyone else is like me.
Danielle is notorious for literally leaving tags on anything, whether it's clothing.
It's hereditary, okay? My mom does it.
Why do you do that? Is it because you're like, what if I needed to return it later?
But when do I ever return things?
You never return anything.
I don't know why. I don't know.
So what is it?
It's because my mom did it. Then I do it.
And then it just stays on forever.
Yeah.
There's been other things that we've had for 5+ years that I'll like see and I'm like, is that a tag?
The other thing that Nick hates.
It was our bench. Our bench had it when we moved here. Our outdoor bench still had his tag on it.
The other thing Nick hates that I do is when apples have the sticker, and I'll just peel the sticker off and put it somewhere.
She is literally like a 5-year-old. I had to start getting onto her, and when I started to get onto her, she started to put them in more obscure places.
Why does fruit come with stickers? It doesn't need to have a sticker.
To scan it.
No, you could just type it in, item lookup.
Yeah, it is pretty annoying.
Yeah. Anyways, we are here today to share some crazy stories that we have experienced in our time in business. The reason I came up with this topic is because someone tried to steal our business. So I wanted to share that story. And if we come up with any other stories that would be fun to share, we can do that along the way as well.
And first off, I'll say I am a believer that like copying is a very sincere form of flattery, but it is still annoying when somebody really tries to like rip off your stuff.
There have been many people from basically the beginning who have copied like sayings that we put on bandanas, or like our Valentine's one with the heart and the name. Like, so many people have copied that, and there's things like that have happened forever. But there are two very crazy stories to me. I'll start with the first one. I'll go in chronological order, but the more recent one I feel like is crazier.
Okay.
So when we were 1 year old, it was in 2019. Okay, so now we have Simply Sweet Pea, but back then is when we had started it. So I had created this new Instagram page, and I said, if you go follow our new business, I'll follow you back. So I was following some of these girls, and that's how I found out that this person tried to basically, I don't know what word, stealing, copying. That's how I found out.
So what did they do?
So she posted our bandanas and said she made them and was selling them. And it's like, yes, you can do that as wholesale, but she wasn't claiming that they were ours. She was saying,
so she bought our bandanas from us and then decided to say
at full price too.
And then decided to say that
she
they're
made
my
them.
bandanas and I made them.
Yes.
Did they have Tails Up Pup tags?
At that time, we didn't have tags. That is actually the main thing that pushed us to get tags. But I had the proof, like she had placed the orders for those specific items, and now she's posting saying, hey, I'm starting this business, buy my bandanas.
So I wonder what her thought process was if she's buying stuff for full price, so she's selling it for the same price.
I honestly don't
making no
remember
money.
how. I feel maybe she was just trying to get her foot in the door and kick her business off. I don't know. But it was so crazy that she knew I was following her. Like, I was going to see it.
So, yeah, I wonder what was going through her mind. So she follows
Nothing,
you.
obviously.
And she follows you, Simply Sweet Pea. And because that's what you're saying. They followed Simply Sweet Pea and you followed her back. And
That's how I saw it. That was the point of that part of the story, is if I hadn't done that, I would have never seen it and never known. So who knows how many people have done this in addition to her.
Yeah.
But I did confront her and she denied it.
Wait, so what, you messaged her?
I did. I don't remember who it was, so I can't like go back and look.
What did you say?
I was like, hey, saw that you're claiming our bandanas as yours. Like, that's not okay. And she denied it. And then I was like, well, you literally bought those bandanas. Like, that's my product. But
oh my goodness.
At that time, like, what was I going to do? So
the audacity of somebody to sit there and deny it to your face when you know, like, okay, you're listing these ones, the exact amount that you have listed is what you bought.
Yeah, it was crazy. And at that time for us, it was even crazier because we were so small. And
did we do wholesale at that time?
I don't know. I don't remember when we started doing wholesale.
It's just, you would think somebody would reach out and be like, hey, I'd love to, buy your bandanas and sell them wholesale. But what really gets me about that one is claiming like I made these myself.
Yeah, that was the problem. Saying that it was hers for her business. And yeah, who knows where she is today? Maybe she's thriving in her bandana business. Maybe she never started. I don't know.
That is the audacity.
Okay.
And then I cannot believe that she followed you.
I know.
Like that you wouldn't see.
I know. I was going to see it.
That's so funny.
Okay, the more recent story involves lawyers and lots of money. So,
lawyers and lots of money. Oh, what a kickoff to this one.
okay,
Set the scene for us.
This was last year, I believe, but time flies. So it could have been a little bit longer than a year. It probably was a little bit longer than a year ago. Because we had like all of our employees at that point. So it was probably like a year and a half ago. I don't remember what started this. I think it was just eventually.
I think someone messaged you and told you
but
about
it was like, yeah, and there was like so many people quickly saw this. So it all happened super fast. So what happened was.
Well, Tails Up Pup has an army of people out there.
Yes, we have a great community. So if anyone ever like copies like a bandana saying or anything, like y'all always send it to me. And I'm like, thank you for looking out for us. But at the end of the day, there's like not much that I'm going to do about it because like it costs a lot of money to,
chase everybody down.
Yeah. So you do what you can, but this one was not okay. So these girls, I believe that they were in high school, were wanting to start a bandana business, and they took our logo, which is hand drawn by Callie, and like that is our logo.
They ripped off our exact logo.
Yes, they took our logo and started this business with our logo. So.
And how did you know like that it was a purely ripped off thing? I mean, obviously you know what it looks like.
Yeah.
But tell them how Tails Up Pup was not in the name.
Yeah, they took the Tails Up Pup off, but they didn't. Like they just cropped it, and because it's arched, you could still see the top parts of the letters. Like
it was a poor job.
It was a very poor job, and so. Yeah, someone sent it to me and I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember like sending it to Callie and being like, look, this girl, or maybe Callie sent it to me. I can't remember. I remember we were very involved. Like, okay, this is not okay. So we ended up messaging them and confronting them and saying, this is our logo. And at this point, okay, the legality of business, we don't have like that trademarked at that time. But
we do now.
What's it called? Common law trademark.
Yes.
Basically, it was created for us. It's ours, and we used it first. So, like, we have all the legal rights to it, whether you actually obtain a trademark or not for that thing.
I believe it's once customers start to recognize like this could be a saying or whatever. If you're the first one that's using it, even if you don't go get the official trademark and customers identify you by that, like in a state or if you're selling, in all states, which we do, and that's a very identifiable thing to you and unique to you, and you can show the date that you started using it, you have common law trademark on that, and it is protected.
So when we started our business, like right away, we looked into getting everything that we wanted trademarked, and it's expensive and it's hard and there's lots of hoops to jump through. And when we talked to a lawyer about common law trademark, we were like, okay, well, that will cover us for all the things that we would need it for anyways. So we did not go about getting things trademarked. So then this situation comes about, which is why we ended up getting it trademarked. But we confront these girls and they deny it.
They also said... What do you mean by deny?
First, they were like, they tried to jump through every little crevice that they could. They were like, we didn't steal this. We don't know who you are. We don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, didn't they say that they just got this? I just got this on the internet. Isn't that what they said?
They said that they found it on Canva. And so I'm like, no, like you literally can't. So, and you uploaded it to Canva so you could put it in there. Like, no. So that was their little excuse that they had.
So they're saying to your face, the person whose logo it is, that they found this and came up with it.
Yeah. So we contacted our lawyer like that day and we were like, what should we do? And he's like, well, you have all of the rights to this. So like, there's no battle here. Like we win, but he helped us write something to them saying like, you have to take this down.
A cease and desist letter.
Is that what we sent then?
I believe so.
I thought it was like a step before that. Just like an email, like a message.
Well, yeah, I think I don't know that it was an official cease and desist letter, but it was pretty much, yeah, you need to stop this or that will be following.
And the response we got.
Well, the response we got in the beginning was crazy. This whole process is deny crazy. But yes, you tell them about the response. What did they say?
Their mom responded saying that they're just kids and to let them keep doing what they were doing. I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
And I believe we were told to stop attacking them when all we were doing is saying, you're using our logo. Please don't use that.
Yeah, they can have their business. They can just get a new logo. That was the biggest problem. And I don't even remember what their business was named or anything. Like I don't think we could look it up.
Pup tails up.
No, it wasn't even trying to copy our name. That's why I'm like,
No.
You can keep doing what you're doing, but you can't use our logo. And so, yeah, we had to go further because their mom said that. And I don't remember what the next step was, honestly, but it was involving the lawyer again. And they did end up removing the logo eventually.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we ended up having to send the official cease and desist letter, but their philosophy was just to escalate and deny, basically, saying that they're fine and they can use it and there's no big deal here, and that, they were going to lay in the grave of, we found this on the internet, anyone can use it. And I think they try to throw out some terminology of like, this is common intellectual property. And
because they said that because they kept falling back on the Canva thing.
Yeah, they're like, this is not a common thing. This is designed by someone specifically for us.
Yeah, I'm like, it was literally hand drawn for us, so there's no fighting that. But that is why we ended up getting our full logo trademarked as well, which costs so much money. And
yeah, it is
so
definitely
annoying.
expensive.
And obviously, like, we came out of that in a good situation, and it didn't make us need the trademark because we still have that common law trademark. It just felt like that extra security after having a small fish try to do something like that. We were like, well, what if something bigger happened? Let's just get it done.
What was your initial reaction when you saw like that it was literally your logo on somebody else's page?
I remember where I was.
You do?
I do.
What were you wearing?
I don't remember what I was wearing, but I was like about to walk into the gym and I was in the parking lot in the car, and I remember being furious and like also hopeless because
you probably got a really good workout in. Either a horrible workout or a great workout.
I feel like it was
Rage
horrible
mode.
because at that time I was like texting Callie and texting you, and I'm like, what should we do? And all of it was happening at once. And yeah, that was a bad time.
Well, and we're really not, I feel like we're really nice people, and like we're not gonna like come after anybody. And I think our original message was very much like, nice, but like, this is ours. In case you didn't know, even though we know that because of how the letters are cropped out.
Yeah.
Please stop. And then for them to deny, you would just think that they would be like, oh snap, I'm caught. And stop. Oh, didn't they block us?
I definitely got blocked.
We got blocked in the process.
Yeah, that did happen.
Wait, didn't the lawyer have to like find their address? I feel like something like that happened because we got blocked and couldn't communicate with them anymore. And we're like, this would have just been so much easier.
That did happen.
Yeah, this would have been so much easier if we could have just, messaged them back on Instagram to stop. But they blocked us and thought that they were going to get away with that.
Yeah. Good times. Makes for great memories.
Yeah, it is stressful when that stuff happens because so much time, effort, love goes into creating a business, and a logo is a very essential part of the business, and that definitely is what is identified to the world. And it just goes to show that we really do have like a really, great support of like all our customers out there to when it's whether it's a saying or a logo or something else, I feel like it really comes back to you very fast.
My brain's remembering another situation.
Oh, I remember also what happened that was kind of bad. This is out of our control in those situations, and we when we find out it happens, we tell everybody to pull back. But I remember they were getting a lot of hate from Tails Up Pup customers because like when you like it'd kind of be like if somebody was using the Nike logo or whatever, and other people like that know it's not Nike would be like, you can't be using that. What are you doing? You're not Nike. Other Tails Up Pup customers, people that we don't even know, were going out and saying to these girls like, you can't be using that. You've stolen. Blah blah blah, and they were defending us. So it felt good that they were defending us, but like it was like, oh no, these girls probably do feel a little attacked.
Yeah, but that's kind of what they get.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, even though they were, younger, it's a good lesson for them. Like you can't just, start a business and steal somebody's logo. That's not okay.
The other situation I was remembering, one time a few years ago, we went out to dinner with like Lauren, Ensley, like the whole team. We were at this local place, and Lauren turned around and there was a girl wearing a sweatshirt by the copier of our design.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because you guys know we are very well known for our varsity dog mom with your names under it sweatshirt, and we have it in a million colors, and like that was our idea, and it was nowhere before because like we searched for the internet, we were like, hey, yeah, we designed this, and then obviously a lot of people have copied that since then. And this girl was wearing one of the copycat versions. And we wanted to go up to her and be like, you could get the real thing from us. But we didn't.
Well, it's really funny because we always talk about like we like to see our products, we say in the wild.
Yeah.
Just randomly being out, whether it's a bandana or like an embroidered thing. But the thing that we saw was it was a fake.
It was a faker.
And the people,
and
she probably
honestly,
didn't know.
it wasn't that cute. All the fakes are not as good as the original. For some reason, like their fonts are wonky, wacky.
The knockoff is never as good as the OG.
No. And I don't think I'm being biased, but I probably am.
No, there's some really good other stuff out there. And I mean, we're not sitting here saying that we had like, for sure the first idea ever of doing that. But to our knowledge, we didn't see anything out there in the world doing anything like that.
Specifically for dog moms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, those are probably like my craziest stories. But like, should I share a fun crazy story?
Sure.
This is one of your favorite stories.
Okay.
In the very beginning, we were just a few months old and we took a trip.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay.
This is my first time being recognized in public. So we were so tiny. Like we had like 1,000, probably 2,000 followers or something.
Not a lot.
But we were tiny. And we took a trip and I was in the airport bathroom washing my hands. So like my back was to this person at this point.
And it's a key part of the story. A key detail is that this is the Atlanta airport, busiest airport in the world. So many people come through and connect their flights in Atlanta and all that stuff. So it's like there's a lot of people you run into.
And this girl comes up from behind me and she goes, what'd she say?
Are you Dani from Tails Up Pup?
Yeah, something like that. And I was like so shocked that someone would know who I was. I don't even remember what I said or what I did. And
so you had this little interaction in the bathroom. So you were washing your hands and she tapped you on the...
yeah, I am. That is me.
Oh my gosh.
And then I came running out of the bathroom. I told Nick, I was like, someone just recognized me. This whole thing's on camera if you want to watch it on our YouTube channel, because I remember I was like, oh, it was so shocking.
And I was shocked too. I'm like, what do you mean someone recognized you?
It hasn't happened that many more times. Like, we could probably count on two hands how many times we've been recognized in public.
Well, where someone's come up to us.
Yeah, we're still small.
We're still very small.
But
Keelan was recognized one time.
Yeah, Keelan was recognized.
By himself in the wild. Somebody came up to him while he was eating and said, "Are you Keelan from Tails Up Pup?"
That was crazy too. But I mean, we posted a lot of videos.
I think everyone has been recognized at some point, right?
I think so.
Maybe not Connor. I don't know if Connor has a story about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I know. Remember. I think Inslee was the one that took the longest. Keelan got recognized before Inslee, maybe.
And Inslee was like on camera the most.
Yeah.
But it took her the longest, which was like Keelan was barely on the camera and he got recognized, so that was cool.
It does take a lot of guts, I feel like, though, to go up to a stranger that they don't know you to be like, hi, are you so and so? I know you.
Yeah, the most awkward one was at the clothing mart, and the girl came up and said, "Oh my gosh, I know you." And so then in my head, I'm like, "No, you don't." But that's because like I didn't know her. But then I finally realized that she was like, "Oh, like she watches us."
She knows you, but you didn't know her.
Yeah, but it was.
So she did know you.
It was a little awkward at the beginning because I'm like, "You do," but then I was like, "Oh, you do."
Could you imagine what it's actually like for famous people?
This awkward encounter, I did not say this, but this is what. Okay, let me just tell you. At the gym, I would see this girl, and she was like definitely older than us, but not like old. And she would every single time tell me she knew me, but she didn't know how. And so like in my head, I'm like, is it from TikTok? Like, does she see me on her For You page and now she's seeing me in life?
But wasn't putting two and two together.
Yeah, because she always was very adamant of, I know you, but I don't know how.
Did you ever figure out how?
No, because what am I going to say? Oh, like, do you see me online? Like, that's so awkward.
That is really funny.
So, of course, I would never say that. But I feel like in my gut, I feel like that is probably because she was so adamant. And, like, I did not know her other than the gym.
I've never had somebody come up and recognize me.
No.
I don't think so.
Well, maybe you should be seen more.
I'm seen plenty.
You really aren't that much anymore.
Yeah. You don't put me on the
You
stories.
because you like to be behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm a behind
Do you
the
want
scenes
to be
guy.
in front?
No.
We could switch places.
No. I don't. It's too much pressure every day to have to do the stories and everything like that.
Yeah.
Danielle always has something good to say. I feel like I'd be boring.
It's hard to do it every single day.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize like how hard it is to come up with something exciting to talk about, which
Yeah.
it's not always exciting.
Are there any other stories about times people have? I know there's always little things about people, like, you know, whether it designs and stuff. We've definitely had a little bit of concern when we moved to more of our unique own patterns of people like trying to figure out ways to copy that stuff. But I don't think we've seen that happen yet.
No, really no. That has helped us thrive more, I feel like.
We do see a lot of stuff that's not like totally copying, but like Danielle will find a design somewhere and get it, and like you haven't seen it made into a bandana like anywhere out there. Not that it hasn't, but like you don't see it on any of the major, you know, shops that we know.
I think the thing that pisses me off the most is that we have one font that we use on most of our bandanas, and when other people use that, I'm like, there are literally millions of fonts out there. You could use anything, so why did you have to pick the same one as us?
Yeah, again, that's a compliment in the sense of it's flattery by copying us.
I'm not complimented.
They see us and they're
pissed
like,
off.
yeah. And I mean, you know, sometimes it could be honest mistakes. It may not be that.
Probably
but
not.
It does feel like when you go click on them and they're following you. And
Oh, you don't want to know? I'm Snoopy.
You're Snoopy?
I'm Snoopy. When I find someone who's copying something, I'll go to their page and like, of course they're not following us, but then when you go to the owner, they're usually following us.
Oh, so like the owner follows us kind of like low key sneaky,
Yeah, they're like,
not with
I
their
can't
business
follow
account.
them with the business, but I'll follow them with my personal. Yep, I've seen that many times.
Interesting.
A fun fact about me is I love blocking people on the internet. So Nick is always like, you can't block people. But I'm like, if someone is rude or mean or does something bad, like those girls blocking us, like I would have blocked them too. You know? Like.
Yeah, I'm just not a blocker.
I'm a blocker.
Danielle will block you.
Yeah.
But
So
you got
be nice.
you got to get on you got to get on the bad side. You have to do
You
something
have to do something
crazy.
really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, there's people that's blocked us. That's not the only one, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely blocked.
I just don't understand why. Have we ever been accused of copying? Has anyone ever?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
When?
With our lick mats. And it's like, we did not invent the lick mat, and neither did these other people. Like, we probably got them from the same supplier. Our lick mats have like our Tails Up Pup name engraved on them or lasered in them. But like a lick mat is a lick mat. There's different looks to lick mats, but the one we have is probably the most common one. And I never claimed to invent the lick mat, but I think that girl was like, I invented this. I think that was in her head of like, because she had it first, apparently.
She thinks she made the lick mat popular, more or less.
I don't know. She didn't really justify her claim. I don't know if I even responded because I'm like, we probably got this from the same person. Like, you didn't invent the lick mat. If you did, then I'm sorry. But she wasn't, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing that's tough is like when there's products out there that anybody can go buy at wholesale, it's like you don't really own it.
And I feel like, okay, so like some of our bandana designs, like with words like the dad is my bestie, I did not design that. You can go on Cricut and anyone can put that on anything. So when people are like, oh, this person's copying, I'm like, actually, they're not. Like, that's a design available to the public. And so same thing with embroidery. If you like go online, you can buy a lot of the designs that we have. So like the floral paw, like anyone can buy that design to embroider on something. But we picked the colors, we picked what it goes on. Those things we picked and are more unique to us, but anyone can buy that. So I feel like that's why we went into designing our own bandana patterns. That's why we've hired embroider designers, because the more things you can create to yourself, then it's much harder for people to copy. But even like our Hello Pumpkin with the dog and the pumpkin, we wrote Hello Pumpkin. We chose that saying, we chose those fonts.
And the placement.
But the dog itself with the pumpkin is a generic thing anyone can buy. All that is to say that I'm sure other people think that we've copied because of like this design or that. But if you have common sense, you can buy that on the internet and it is available to anyone. So that type of stuff is not copying because anyone could do it.
Yeah, when you blatantly rip somebody's logo off or things like that, yeah, that's kind of next level copying.
Yeah. But that's also why we've gone to do more things that are exclusive to us. So then, it's your unique idea and no one else can go buy that on the internet.
Do you feel like I wouldn't say gotten used to it, but do you feel like that type of stuff doesn't get you angry as much anymore? Now it's like just comes with the territory?
No.
It still gets you just...
When someone's like blatantly copying, it still makes me angry.
Well, not more like, I'm sure that it makes you angry, but like before it was kind of like, I can't believe somebody would do this. And now that has happened a few times, you're like, well, I'm sure it's going to come at some point again.
No, I still don't like it. And same thing when someone writes a review that has nothing to do with, like the other day, this girl wrote a review. I'm confident it was the whole wrong company because nothing about her review had anything to do with anything we sell, anything we've ever done. None of it made sense. And so the only thing that I can comprehend is that it was meant for a different business.
We can kind of see if the review was written from like our thing that sends out like, hey, write a review from your order, or if somebody comes onto the website and just writes a random review.
Yeah, her name and her email had never had an order, and then everything she talked about was never anything that had to do with us. So things like that even make me upset because I'm like, there's a 1-star review of something that has literally nothing to do with anything.
Oh, wasn't there someone that said they were going to destroy us?
One time, this girl's package was missing, and it was delivered. There was proof that it was delivered, but she was claiming she didn't have it. And so we proved to her that it was delivered, and she still didn't like it. And so she said that her whole mission in life now was to destroy us. And her mission has gone very well.
Well, we typically have a protocol like when stuff like that happens to where, we say that it's delivered, we reach out to the postal service and we go and we were telling her she had to wait like 30 days.
We were like, even though it's proven that it's delivered, you have to wait X amount of time and then we'll give you a store credit. And
because a lot of times the postal service will, say that it's delivered and it was an incorrect scan and it'll come a few days later. So we don't do it. We don't just give them credit right away because we've, after we've shipped, close to 100,000 packages, a lot of packages, so many packages, at least 60,000 packages. We've had this stuff happen, and we know that there, occasionally stuff like that happens, and 99% of the time it shows up, and it shows up within a few days.
The reason that I think her mission to destroy us has failed is because I think she received it.
Oh, of course. She definitely received it. There are so many times that this happens, and we've had other people that have gotten angry with us because we won't give them money like the very first time that they reach out, and we tell them like it's very likely that it's going to come. And there was someone that got so angry with us, or whatever, and it was delivered to her neighbors, I think.
Yeah.
And then there was another person where it's like, oh my gosh, actually it was put underneath my bench outside.
The amount of people in 100,000 packages who have actually never received it is probably about 5.
Yes, so few people that don't act. And so that's why we have this protocol, because it almost always gets to them. This actually brings up another really funny story that I had.
What is it?
One time we had somebody reach out, and I think they had bought like 5 or 6 bandanas, and they sent a picture and said, I personalized all my bandanas. Why didn't you put the name on any of my bandanas? And we're like, we get this thing, and we're like, what the heck? Why?
And I knew I personalized them.
Yeah. Why? How could they have not gotten personalized? And then when we looked at the picture, we were like, oh, the tag is on the other side. We said, oh, did you try flipping them on the other side? And then she wrote this hilarious response. So she goes, I'm so dumb. Like, I don't know how I pulled out all these bandanas and didn't flip them over. And
I don't know how. You open a package and take everything out.
Well, you put them, she must have opened it back upside down. But
the whole way, she would have had to like slide all these things out. Yeah, to never turn it around.
And normally if something like that happens, you'd think like you'd check both sides real quick or something, but she didn't and sent the whole photo and everything. And but she was a really good sport about it. That was hilarious.
I had another story, but now I just literally forgot. Oh, I know. It was an employee.
What?
Okay. I believe it was the first time. It might have been the second time we were hiring. I think it was the second time. We posted on like a ZipRecruiter, whatever, one of those sites.
Indeed or ZipRecruiter.
And we had like 50 people come into the office to interview. And it was a working interview. Like they had to show us, it was for the seamstress. Like they had to show us they could sew, and we met them. We did all these things. Some people only did like an Zoom interview, and some people came in. So how many people do you think came in? Like 20?
Something like that. I think we interviewed like 50 or 60 people on the phone or Zoom. And then
20 of them came in.
And then we had people come in.
So we get a letter in the mail months later saying that we now, I don't know exactly, somehow with unemployment, that we were having to pay for this girl's unemployment.
It asked, was she employed at Tails Up Pup, because she had filed for unemployment from us.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was. And so...
But she was never hired.
She was never hired. She actually wasn't even one of the girls who came into the building. And she didn't even live in Georgia. So that's where the biggest thing came from.
Oh, yeah, she lived in Florida.
She lived in Florida. And so... I don't know. I actually cannot remember if we actually interviewed her or not. I assumed we did, because who would fill out that paperwork saying if you never even got the interview? I'm pretty sure we at least talked to her, but I had to then jump through all the hoops of going through the Florida unemployment, being like, first of all, she doesn't even live in our state. Second of all, she's never been here. And third of all, she was never employed here. The biggest thing of all. So that was crazy, filing for unemployment when you never had the job.
I thought you were going to talk about the person in the interview that told you that you didn't know what you were doing.
I don't remember that.
That lady that came in, and Danielle was... So, when you're
when
you're doing a working interview, you kind of show somebody like, hey, this is how we sew our bandanas, and make sure that that's how they do it. And then, the person was like, you're doing this wrong. This
I probably
is how
was
you
like,
sew
yeah,
it.
I probably am, because I don't know. I've just figured it out on my own.
But the thing is, it's one thing to, kind of be like, oh, have you thought about doing it this? But she came at you like, you don't know what you're doing. And I just thought that was like, Who does that in an interview?
Yeah, she should have told me in a way that she could help us and we could do it better.
Yeah, be like, oh, have you thought about this? Like, I can definitely do it that way, but have you thought about it this way? I think this might make it faster, better, or something like that. But, in the interview, somebody's like, yeah, you're dumb.
Yep, I am. I could agree with that. Well, I'm sure we have so many more stories. Like, I'm thinking of a bunch, but like none are like as crazy as the ones we shared.
I loved how this turned into story time in general after like we were kind of, talking about the copying and everything, but
Crazy business stories.
yeah, crazy business stories. We have a fair share of them over the years, and I'm sure that there's going to be other crazy things that happen over time.
Yeah, but it's cool that we can look back and laugh at these things while they were crazy or made us angry in the moment. Now they are memories of the past, and I'm sure we will have more in the future.
And we've definitely learned from this stuff. And that really my question earlier is, I think I'm less shocked, and not that I'm not still angry, but when people do this stuff, it's like, you know what? I know that this stuff is coming. Whereas in the beginning, when stuff happened for the first or second time, you were like literally so like, what the heck? You never could imagine that this, would happen to you. But now it's like, okay, once you've been in business long enough, someone's definitely going to try to copy you. Someone's probably going to try to steal your logo at some point, and all these other crazy things can happen. And that's just, part of running a successful business.
Oh, one last thing that made me angry early on. We applied for some kind of event, and the guy, I can't remember what the event was, but the guy responded and he was like, "We don't accept arts and crafts here."
We don't accept arts and crafts?
Apparently, dog bandanas are arts and crafts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not a legitimate business,
Not a
according
legitimate
to him.
business, yeah. I wonder if he still thinks that we're arts and crafts. I wish I was arts and crafts. That'd probably be more fun.
We need to do a part 2 of this and talk about like all the really cool, good story things that have happened.
We shared some good ones.
Yeah. No, I mean, they were good.
They
Some of them were funny. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
of them were funny.
Yeah, we have a lot of good stories too, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Or listening. If you are a listener and ever see us in public, please come say hi. Or if you're coming through town, we love when y'all stop through and we can get lunch or do something. That is so fun. It's so cool that the internet brings us all together, and we've really created a community through the internet that we would have never known each other from.
Yeah, we really do love, we've built so many like in-person relationships with people over the years, and that's probably like one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
And it's, it's not weird to go from internet friends to real life friends. So
And
reach out if
so
you're...
many of our good friends have come through here, and I'm actually meeting one of them for coffee this weekend. So that's really fun as well. We're so grateful for you guys. And if you are listening, please give us a 5-star review or thumbs up and subscribe on YouTube. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.